To the 16th floor, I just need a little more. Rocking out to Lorna Shore, making that thing swing back and forth. Look at us, we're out of sorts. Thank God we're not keeping score. Losing our mind to cannibal chords, making that thing swing back and forth. To the 16th floor, I just need a little more. Rocking out to Lorna Shore, making that thing swing back and forth. Look at us, we're out of sorts. Thank God we're not keeping score. Losing our mind to cannibal chords, making that thing swing back and forth.
Talk to me, show me all that hurts you deep. Soak my shirt in all your tears, so I can talk with you. Breathe to me, tales of things that haunt the brush and paint the scene, so I can breathe with you. The gravel spikes your feet, the cloth rubs on your knees. So darling, when the rain comes crashing in, I'll be right here and listen to you sing. what they made you out to be. Burst the glass and start to scream, so I can shout with you. Cry to me, rivers that will raise the sea, creeks of pain and apathy, so I can cry with you. Oh, the gravel spikes your feet, the glove rubs on your knees. So darling, when you're deafened by the noise, I'll be by your hand, listen to your voice.
Hello and welcome back, friends. It is Caparzo, joined by Awake here for the Division 1 Championship between the 6th Airborne Raiders and the Tactical Collective, or TACO. Awake, been waiting all season to get to this match. Both these teams find themselves here, very deservedly so. What do you see going into today's match?
Hello, everyone, and good morning to a lot of the NA players, as it is 5 o'clock my time. We're here, Division 1 Finals. I would say it's maybe a bit of a surprise that, 6 coming into this game undefeated. I don't think a lot of people saw that coming, but people are not surprised to see Taco in here. Obviously, they've won, the past Summit title, trying to get that TPL title now. 6 trying to do the same thing, so it's going to be a very interesting match going to be played here on St. Mary Lee's, so really excited for this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Both of these teams coming off of a very long season with very minimal off-season as well. We should note this season the inaugural season of the Premier League here is ran very close to the last season as well as the Summit tournament. So both these teams kind of going straight with no rest. 6th, the runner-up to last season's TPL finals. Taco, like you mentioned, having won Summit. So these are the two battle of these very highly rated championship caliber teams, and like we said, we're going to be on SME here today. So once we get the map flip, it will be SME, and Taco will be playing as the Axis, while 6th is the Allies. Let me just make sure my that little bug there on the bottom is updated to reflect that as well. So let's just do that while we have a little moment here.
And then shout out to Smithers, who's going to be casting the other side of this match. I think he's going to be joined by Osiris from EXO, so be sure to check out his stream too for this match. So have both streams up, please.
Yes.
It's very early for everybody involved in the production side of things, so yeah.
That should update once we get to the match, by the way, or maybe this is a bug thing. But yeah, 6 will be playing the Allies, so off the bat we see, the map that we're gonna have is SME. They're most likely hoping that they're gonna get an SME church. Let's maybe pull up the road to the finals here that these teams have been on. So let me get that up here. We will also have stats throughout this match here today. So this is what we're looking at as far as the road to the finals here. On the 6th side of the bracket, they were able to take down EXO in their Division 2 or in their second match to make it to this finals game, and then Taco taking on Legion last week on Omaha Beach, able to come away with the victory there and stamp their ticket to the finals match here. So these are the first and second seeded teams, so no upsets in Division 1 for the playoffs. So this is really the best that the division has to offer. But Awake, like you were saying, I don't think anyone expected anyone to go undefeated here in this new formatting with the divisions. So extremely impressive that Six able to get wins against every single D1 team on their way to this game. And if you're looking at it from that perspective, maybe the bettor's perspective, you could say that Six are the favorites in this one. But again, I think the margins would be like something like plus 150 or something like that. These teams are extremely close in terms of their skill levels. But Awake, anything you want to talk about as far as like previous matchups between these teams? Obviously, it's been a little lopsided.
Yeah, so with Six is they actually have never lost to Taco, and Taco has never beaten Six, kind of going back to the TPL Light days, or the 35v35 days of these teams competing in TPL and just them as a team in general.
Mm-hmm.
Six has not lost to Taco, so it's obviously if you're like a betting person based on history, you want to go with the Six, but Tacos, they've been slowly grinding their way through all the teams, and now they're arguably top 3, if not obviously top 2 right here, as one of the best teams in the game. So both teams never should go underestimated in any sort of game that they play.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, like with Six, I guess being slightly favored, if we're gonna talk about maybe the map, St. Mariglis, this is slightly favored towards Six, just because they are gonna be allies, and if they do get SME Church, obviously there's been some conversation of unfair midpoints, that being I would say 80-20 favored towards allies for winning that match.
Right.
But SME checkpoint, always a nice little fun point to fight over. Hospice as well, but once a team loses Hospice, it's very hard for the other team to get back, especially as allies. So it's be kind of interesting to see when the map flip does come up, whenever that does.
Yeah.
What kind of map layout we get, because I think that's going to be the deciding factor in this game, is who's going to get and draw the better map layout. I don't think factions can be too much of a difference in this game, so I just think it's going to come down to map layout, and if maybe a team, if they do get that unfavorable map layout, if they can maybe execute just a bit better than the other team, and then we'll have our champion.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a good point you make about like the map layout mattering more than it did in the past. And this is something I always bring up when people talk about server, preference, or rather, who has the quote unquote favorable server. I don't think those things all of a sudden matter more in a vacuum, but proportional to everything else, I think they matter more now than they previously did. And the reason I say that is because with the divisional format, a lot of these variables that were once a part of the game, as far as like you're just playing a team that outclasses you, like this team is better than this team, when everyone's on the same level playing field, those sorts of asymmetric things start to matter more, and they take up a bigger proportionality of what matters in the match. So I think that previous seasons there hasn't been as much talk about preferable midpoints and stuff like that. I think one, because it was random, so it's not like you got to a point where, oh shoot, I'm playing SME and on the Axis I have a 1/3 chance of winning, basically. I think that it just goes along with the fact that these two teams are like at the top of their game and extremely equally matched, and those things then matter a little bit more. But for you, the viewers at home, this shouldn't make a difference at all, because you're getting to watch the two best teams in Console Hell Let Loose this season go absolutely toe-to-toe on an incredible match. So I can't be more excited to be here as we crown another TPL champion.
Yeah, and I actually asked this kind of same question as we do get the map flip, so we'll be ready to go in 1 minute. But I did ask this on Smithers' stream last night when he was just doing some fun little pub casting before he had to, go to bed and cast this match. Was, what do you think? Because he's obviously a caster, but he's also a competitive player for Helios on PC. And I basically told him, hey, what's more important when two evenly matched teams go against each other? Is it faction or is it midpoint / map layout? And he said basically map layout and midpoint. He doesn't really obviously German STG is always gonna shine in every single aspect of the game, but
right.
He just says map layout and midpoint favor the better team. So or just
I would agree
matter
with
more.
that for sure. But 5 seconds away here, and we will see what this midpoint is going to be. And I am psyched for it. Let's all find out together here.
Or we won't get West Bend.
Oh, and it is
We
hospice.
do get hospice. Okay.
Interesting. So I am joining Crawley here in dog, and let.
So both teams can push off their offset 4th point. So it's gonna be an absolute grind, no matter what side caps mid first.
This is set up for a 90-minute grinder right here, with the Valulaville and Crossroads being the 5th points. I mean, this is gonna be an absolute grinder.
Yeah, this is. Oh man, Artie's gonna feast.
Yeah.
So yeah, with it being 2, points you could push off for hospice take, it's. Infantry's not gonna have fun. Tank engagements, I think, are going to be very interesting. Obviously, you're going to see a bunch in the top. Caparzo, you do have to switch their Axis allies at the bottom real quick.
I see that.
And yeah, I think tanking, like this initial tank engagement, I think it could make or break who actually wins this match, in my opinion. Because if Taco wins this first initial cap, I think they might pull this off and hold for 90. It's hospice is one of those points for allies that it sucks to push back on. Not so much as the Germans, just because I think you get a little bit more cover with some foliage and stuff. But either way, it's really rough. I don't know. Did 6th and Exodus play hospice?
I believe they did. I'm not too sure the results there. I think it was a close match, but
it was 6-4-1. I'm just going to look at that right now.
On the factions piece, it looks like that's just a little bit bugged right now, so we'll just remove that to avoid any confusion. 6 will be playing the allies here, so we'll see them coming from the east. Taco will be coming from the west. Let's do a quick check of the map and see what 6 is doing. They're going heavy in the north. We see a light tank, a fully loaded truck, and then their medium is also moving towards the north. They have a subsequent truck, more going to the middle, that's about half full, and then a much lighter truck in the south with their commander, nukes in the supply truck. On Taco's side, they have a truck in the north here, 2 trucks in the north, a few tanks, but I think that the theme of the season awake has been snipes, so I'm very interested to see what these 2 championship teams are gonna put out here. But here we go.
Surprised if 6 might snipe their truck at the start.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this quick because we do want to catch these snipes as they come in. We saw one land over here, was not able to get anything. Another couple landing. I don't see anything coming out from Taco just yet. We do see their ATs on top, Lawless and Poopa.
Obviously, that map hedge carry that everyone knows and loves to build will be there probably as soon as that truck passes.
Nothing as far as snipes yet. Oh, yep, here we go. And they're dueling. No hits here. There's another one coming. Well aimed. Well prepped. But
Not
both.
like we're gonna get any snipes whatsoever.
Yeah, and let's pull out to an angle where we can see this initial clash here in the north. This is a big battle for both teams to have to win.
Very surprised that not a lot of 6 are actually in the initial hard cap.
Don't believe there was a truck loss, but that is kind of what we saw on the at the wall with the trucks, how they were posted up there. So manpower advantage here was originally to Taco, but 6 starting to own the north a little bit more as far as manpower is concerned. Midpoint is contested, going back and forth. Taco with the original capture pressure, but Six bringing it back by the skin of their teeth as Taco now again gets the cap pressure. So we are on the razor's edge here. We see Six medium tank.
And I think this is just coming down to Taco just having more people in the north, especially just the Spectre. You know, Six seems to start crossing the street, and so is Taco now 2 hard captain. If you're Mulligan and Backpack, you don't want to lose your OPs.
Absolutely. Six starting to wrap more to the south. Wilco we see over here, seeing if he can't cause some disruption. But yeah, Taco winning that north, which, considering how Six started off here, where it seemed like that was their goal to win the north, we'll see how they adjust. Now we see...
Seems like Six is definitely winning the south, but... back towards their favor.
See the medium tank here by the 6th, right by the glider, and then we see the medium tank by Taco up to your top right.
Now Ryan right there in Mulligan, that's a huge fight that Ryan does win. Ryan,
Yeah.
I think, places OP too. If he can get an AT player, you know, 2 side shots onto that medium, that could do it.
I'm not sure.
Bed.
Yeah, that is bad.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see if Ryan has an OP up, but 6 clawing their way back out using that hard cap to multiply. Riley with the flamethrower.
Honestly, since the new flamethrower came out, that's not a bad play. Just keep it at bay. Obviously now everyone's just gonna throw grenades at each other. That flamethrower actually has surprisingly range when you do die to it, and that's gonna help his team advance and put Satchel's on that hedge. That's a huge play there.
Yeah, honestly, that is very, very good play. I think that's exactly what Mick did. Yep.
2 Satchels down.
Mick Rowe is able to get that satchel down, and that is going to play a huge part in clearing this, give their team a shot at getting their the medium down, which we see has 2 pocket engineers. So Taco committed to that medium. We'll stick up here for the time being as we wait for that satchel to go off. This is 8 minutes.
I think the OP went down 2 next to that tank.
Yeah, it looks like we still have 1 OP over there still. So Taco's still in the fight. We are still on this mid cap here.
Yep, we can keep this up for another hour and 22 minutes. We will have a tie.
Imagine that, a tie in the championship. What would we do?
That's not going to happen. We already know it. These teams want to win. They want to have that bragging right for that title. More satchels going down where Azza is at. He's probably placing his own too. Some satchel just went off.
Yeah, I think that might have been Taco's satchel. They were working on a similar thing. We see the tank taking a shot though. The mediums are now engaging each other. Believe the 75. Oh.
Yep, that's a huge win for 6th.
6 also having 2 pocket engineers on there. Very interesting.
And look at 6 cross the road.
Yeah.
By the hard cap.
Backpack.
Wilco, Rick Dotter. All incredible shooters for the 6th.
And now 6th already has free reign to start hitting this wheat field over here on top of that. So if Luke, Skarnhorst, and Pronky are able to win this fight in the north against these guys, then 6 is looking very strong right now. But at the same time, they're losing the actual strong point here at Hospice.
They have so many people north and south though that
Right.
I think they're okay. They still have that Stuart tank kind of anchoring down that hard cap just to basically even out the hard cap weight. Because now you have Riley, Mulligan, and some others behind that tank.
Yeah, and here goes Pilots with another satchel over here. Really just kind of acting as a, like, kind of keeping 6th away, or I'm sorry, Taco away here. This medium here now has free reign to pull up. Should kill this light tank.
You gotta be a little bit careful though with that German AT.
Absolutely.
I think I said this to myself the other day, but I think AT for the Germans and Americans is actually kind of balanced, just because, like, yes, the Panzerschreck is the better option because you can just pen more and out with the medium tank. That's a huge kill from Jellycott.
That's
there.
huge. Oh, this could be big here though
But-
if Pilots is able to take out this OP.
But the the fragging potential you have while as an AT player is so much higher as the Americans is the turn to car. So that's why I think it's a little bit balanced. Some classes need to get the
Yeah, it's that asymmetrical type of balance that makes Hella Loose the game that it is. Oh, that is. Who are we gonna expose here? Lawless, no. But still, 6 now.
Farmer in the back now.
Ooh, yeah.
One thing in the Legion game that really hurt Legion. I know you were a part of that team, but Farmer in his OP in the way back.
Yeah, he's a great player too. I know from pubs
Critical.
that guy can shoot. But look at this type of
Now-
meat grind here, Awake.
Yeah, now Taco's like flipping the script onto the 6th. Like, I don't know what's going on. Now it looks like Taco is bringing up a Tiger tank.
Yeah, our first heavy we see on the top right of your screen there, a Taco heavy pulling up. The medium battle was won by 6, but quickly countered by Taco's infantry with that powerful Panzerschreck. I think
Now Taco just went
yeah,
north.
yeah. I mean, literally just started out fragging them. I mean, the strategy by both these teams. Oh, look at this Aza with that STG taking out almost 2 whole OP waves. Oh, and the Artie cleans it up. Aza with a prime opportunity to clean a couple outposts here, but going down to a grenade. Absolutely brutal, and what a break by 6 there.
He definitely needed that. I think a lot of 6 OPs did get reset.
Yeah, let's take a quick look. It's been so hectic. Look at the amount of OPs in the north here, Awake.
Yeah, but you can kind of see that between basically those rep stations and the hard cap, just nothing.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the key of why Taco's now flipping the script onto them now.
It's kind
And
of,
we got classic Lux.
yeah. It's 2 dogs barking at each other from opposite sides of the fence. Like,
Comes the Tiger tank.
yeah, and the 76 also pulling up. I think we see here on the main road.
More dogs barking now. But this 76 has got to be careful, and I would say he has to be more careful than the Tiger, because Tiger can maneuver a lot more around
Right.
the wheat field. 76 really can't do too much maneuverability, and I'm curious if 6 is willing to lose the 76 for the cap.
I don't even know if that trade is what assures the cap at this point with Taco so heavy in the soft cap. We do see a bombing run come out from 6th. It's going to be mildly effective, I would say. I mean, those houses just offered a little bit of cover for the 6th, or for Taco, but Taco nearing in on a cap here, but now sliding the other way. Here come the 6th. 15 minutes of mid-cap almost here, Awake.
I think 6 finally did lose the north. Taco finally got that under their own control.
OP is
Oh,
still
there's OPs up
live,
there.
so they could reset, but definitely a lot of ground lost. Taco artillery pushing in. And we see the Lux really being a pest up here, Awake.
Oh, yeah. I think that was obviously the medium's goal, to take out, at least one of the 2 Luxes below the medium.
And here comes
Now it's Taco
Tacos. See that? I would say just as effective as 6 was, so not incredibly effective, but wow, these 6 SLs owe their artillerymen a beer for saving their OP as much as they have been. But Za now pushing up with the light and the heavy here, so an opportunity for Taco in the north.
There's a lot of vehicles in the north. There's 2 supply trucks. for some
Oh,
reason.
look at the crash.
Runs into the box. For who's
Someone-
driving that?
But look, this is...
And he dies. Actually, not a bad play from the Lux from Taco. This is a really good play here from Taco, just bringing the Lux in the north.
Yeah, it's just going to burn OPs. Za using it as mobile cover. Not really anything that the Americans can do to counter this Lux. There is a way that you can pen the Lux from the front, but it is a very Luke Skywalker type of shot you have to land. And that is a beautiful Lux dive, Awake.
Oh yeah.
That's what you like
they
to
need
see.
that.
Look at that. I mean, only one OP spared here.
Yeah. I wonder if teams ever considered if like a situation like this, just like get down an airhead maybe when it's, you know, still, you know, highly contested like that, and maybe
Yeah.
it's more towards their favor. It's like Constantine's getting the satchel onto that Lux thing.
Yep. But the Lux did exactly what it wants to do. Probably very little ammo left in those 20 mils. We see Zong. Oh, was that the Stewart?
Yeah, I think Kimbo got a satchel onto the Stewart, and this will go into a cap for Taco.
Yep, and immediate cap pressure at artillery battery we saw. Looks like it's just probably Farmer.
I don't think it is. I think there's someone else back there. Maybe in the far north. Who knows? I don't know.
Okay. But that is a cap. Let's check the OPs. Sixth able to reset a bit in the more of the south, middle part of the point, but in the north, Taco in complete control. We see them pushed all the way up there. Let's get a zoom in on this battle here. And there's so many places where you can jump over a wall, so these areas are very hard to fight in.
Yeah, I would see. We're gonna see lots of party and probably lots of mine kills. I think this is one of the most mined up areas in the game. Is here
I
and
would
then
say
up
so.
south of SME. It's gonna be brutal.
Oh wait, you able to pull up some stats and see where we're at so far as you know, as far as this match, you know, kill counts are concerned?
Both Artie players are actually tied, believe it or not.
Yeah.
See that right now, both at 35 kills, and then Za carrying the way as far as, you know, the first person with kills was 17 with the Gewehr, and then Constantine 17 with the Satchel. So, you know, I would say pretty even fight so far. Nothing too actually crazy quite yet. As that updates to
Pilots.
Smudo with 36.
Very interesting to see that right now, but
Somehow Wilco with 16 kills with a grease gun. Good for him. I don't know. Grease gun really needs that assault class needs some fine tuning, in my opinion. Give it the bar, please.
over here though, I honestly like the Germans more because of the engineer sapper class. Like the MP40 with the satchel and the mines is so much better than the having to use the shotgun. So I think that's like a underrated advantage of the Germans. But Rusty Spanner in a really nice spot with this MG, gonna make doing anything up here for 6th very difficult. Miko,
It's never lose that 76.
I think that they did.
It had to. I don't know where it went.
That must have been when it really started to get tough for them. But we see another 76 in the north. We see a medium over here as well. Snow in the medium and Stang in the heavy.
And there is a far flanking Greyhound as well, so just
Oh
keep
yeah,
eyes out for that.
that's Archangel and the lads.
Yeah, we've seen them actually last time they played on PHL. He had that clutch Puma play at
Yep.
the very end of the game to secure their spot into the finals. Obviously, there's still an hour and 10 minutes left, and it's going to be an hour and 10 minutes of actual match time. Probably fighting over this point.
I would say so as well. But right now, 6 starting to win a little bit in the middle of the point. While Taco's still in control of the north, the south, I would say leans 6th, or I'm sorry, Taco right now as well. See Kimbo and Looney going to be crossing the road here. And this is a big push for them. And we're seeing just a lot of like frags and refrags here by these teams. It's that kind of game when you're the two best teams on console. Flare going out by Ace. Malarkey takes out Taser.
I'm very surprised not to see anybody from 6 push up that middle part of the map. Like, kind of like where the plane is. Like, there's just no one there. Obviously, there's backpacks and a medium there now, but, you know, I feel like that's where they were losing a lot of their strength, is not having someone kind of be there. I feel like they kind of left that gap open, and it was kind of free reign for, you know, Kimbo to get that satchel onto that Stewart. Granted, the Stewart probably was, you know, half out of ammo at that point, but...
Yeah, agreed. I mean, there is ground for 6 to take in the middle there if they wanted to by backpack. It's really him up. Lanimus able to take out backpack, but still, like, you know, you see Wilco over there, able to hold the ground pretty effectively. The north here is going to be hard because, you know, we have 2 Tigers now, and that's going to make things very difficult for the 6th. I think Rig Doctor able to get a satchel down, perhaps. Maybe not.
Pilots and Riggy are trying to work on that, but it's a lot of infantry still to get through.
All right, we see the 2. Ooh. Pilots able to avoid death there somehow. Zok gonna be pushing up here as well, but Pilot in a really nice spot. And he has a lot.
I'm surprised not to see smokes from the 6 being used onto these Tigers. Like, I feel like that's one thing that they are lacking. Like, this is one thing I would say. Looks like, okay, I eat my words. But I feel like that's one thing that's actually lacking a lot more in the console side of competitive, because I do watch PC as well, and on average, their, you know, utility players will throw probably 100 smokes a game, roughly, depending on the point, obviously. And I feel like up here in the north, this is like where you want to use your smokes. Both Tigers are, you know, aimed on this little gap where Wolf and Alpha are in between. So if you can just smoke that off, you know, every, you know, 15 seconds, have constant smoke there, it really becomes an issue for those tanks to work with.
Yeah, and over here, I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple buildables get done. You know, this is an area where a couple of barbed wires can really be very powerful. One over here by the road, just anything to delay 6 for Taco is what you're looking to do. So I wouldn't be surprised to see those come up here in a little bit. Tigers rolling forward here. 6 beginning to win the fight in the middle. Constantine, no doubt with a satchel. I think he has that grease gun. See if he's able to make a play on Zomgosh and Burger Bridge. Lucido. Oh.
He burns the OP.
They don't realize though.
I think Jelly knows, but gets killed.
Oh, big play by Constantine here. Let's see if he can hold it out and get this Tiger kill. Lanimus, Popeye coming in here to reinforce.
Oh, huge
Oh,
kill.
huge.
I'm very surprised to see anybody from Taco jump out of that tank yet.
Maybe the TC didn't see it. No, TC is out now. Oh.
Yeah, but it's too late now.
It is too late. What a play from Constantine to take out Zomgosh's and his crew's heavy there. That is a big play for the 6th. Able to take 1 chip off the board here for Taco in the north, and that is going to start cap pressure. We see 6th beginning cap pressure.
But Matty Ice, I think, getting the satchel onto Snow's tank.
Where is Snow's tank? Let's see.
Viper does take him out. Snow does go down. And maybe Snow got it off.
He
no,
did.
He did not.
You see it on the bottom left. Yep. So that's gonna. They don't have a TC. I don't know if that's because.
No. White Bread was a TC. He just got back into it. Now it was that medium, but I feel like it's obviously it's a medium. It's not the
Good
biggest
trade.
loss in the world.
Yeah.
But obviously you would rather lose a default medium than a 600 fuel heavy.
And look at Pilots just really holding the spot extremely nicely with this bar, making it look extremely good. Biggest push here is in the south for Taco. 6 really winning more of the strong cat battle, but Max Courage, Wolf Dog, Slugger all pushing in. You see Looney and his whole squad just at the top of your screen as well. So see if Wolf Dog is able to do some damage here. And if we take a look at the map here again, we see that 6 kind of lacking right here in the south, and that's precisely where Taco is pushing in from. Cap pressure relieved.
Taco's one of those teams that they respond very well when, the gap opens up and they recognize something. They'll immediately, switch like 1 or 2, maybe, 3 SLs even to, regain that map control.
Yeah, and
which they, basically completely wipe out 6 on the hard cap.
these two teams too, Awake, find themselves having been promoted all the way from TPL Light, before this divisional format was a thing, and where they're playing these smaller formats, which do encourage or basically require people to be jumping OPs to switch manpower around. So I think that's why you're seeing both of these teams be so effective in this current meta, where OP swapping is something that's required. But look at this, Awake, a huge push from Taco. Max Courage able to take out, I think that was Backpack's OP over here. And this is as good as it's looked this whole game for Taco, as far as being able to push out beyond their side of the road, from north to south.
I'm not sure what happened with 6.
They,
To be really honest, I think they just all got kind of wiped out at the very inconvenient times. A lot of people on defense too for Taco, or for 6, so not quite sure what is happening.
yeah, I think we saw like all the OPs that are around here just kind of get swallowed up by this 6th push. Let's join in over here where it looks like Looney, Toby, Haymitch going to be dealing with this spear that 6 is tossing at them. Kimbo pushing up as well. And we're getting to that moment, Awake, that you talked about before the cast, where, if once you lose Hospice, it's very hard to kind of get yourself back in there.
Yeah, and that's what 6 is dealing with right now, and especially as allies too. As you can see a huge spawn way on that North Gary, but Artie's already coming down on it. That garrison's just gonna get farmed by Artie and eventually probably taken out from Taco. And once that happens, you're not gaining that back unless you have to basically throw everything you can at the kitchen sink to try to get that back. It's a very hard spot to get it. But they do have a bunker around it, so I guess anything's possible.
Just get that on stream so viewers can see here.
Level 2 bunker.
Who was it? Legion, I think, did I saw them do a level 3 bunker with 3 repair stations inside of it.
Yeah, they're insane.
One repair station still went down to artillery, so make sense, but still, like, we're seeing the buildables become a bigger part of the game than,
And now 6 are just, pushing up the gut.
Yeah.
Like, it's
I think you're seeing, it's again, like that battle of manpower flow. Like 6th kind of went more in the middle here, and Taco went more to the north. Uh-oh, we're seeing this 76 take a shot from that Tiger in the north, and this could be huge. It was a turret shot, so, I mean, now 2 into him.
he gets him on the move, too, and he's going to get the cover.
Yeah, that is big. That is huge.
And another tank. The other Tiger takes another shot from, I believe, another 76.
Yeah, this is a...
Both teams did lose 1 heavy already.
Yeah, this heavy battle here is going to be big for the economy battle the rest of the game. Oh, what was that? Artillery? Oh no, that was a repair station. Oh goodness.
I was about to say, if Artie just killed a heavy
Oh.
tank, that is the most unfortunate thing that ever happened
Yeah.
in competitive Hollow Loose. Like, you get a 76 into a very, you know, good position, but at the same time, that 76 really can't peek that much. He's going to try to peek right now. I
Does
feel like
have
if
a
he shoots,
shot.
he's going to shoot that wall.
He doesn't see him with the smoke. Saying trust
now.
ping. Oh,
A little bit high for that one.
Tiger looking for him. Tiger's gonna see him.
How do they not see each other?
I mean, it could be one of these. Yeah, it's just kind of like that berm and the fence.
More rep stations blowing up.
Yep. Rep station meta in full swing here in the Premier
There's gonna be
League.
a graveyard of rep stations in that wheat field. It's not gonna turn into a wheat field at the end of this game for Tacos
Yeah.
side of things.
We're gonna have 15 FPS at the end of the game from all the rep station husks.
But you're seeing this right now from 6. They have no one around that heavy to support.
Yeah.
You know, Jelly did not get taken down by, I assume, like, Rick got for
Ooh.
Cryptic.
Was that a hit into the Tiger? I believe it was.
It wasn't. The Tiger did miss on the follow shot.
Let's see if he's able to land it. He does, but it's turret. Ryan gonna be calling out to his squad that he has this tank right on the other side of the wall. 76 misses the following shot. Other 76 nails the other Tiger.
They're starting to get some cat progress.
Another rep station goes down. Who's keeping count at home? I think next season I'd like to make a couple, you know, like a bingo card list, and it'll like randomly generate it for the viewers, and we can have TPL bingo for these matches. Rep station goes down is your free square. '76 getting a little aggressive, but having to peek back here now. No rep stations up here any longer, so it's going to need a crewman to repair it, and with lots of infantry over there, could be a dangerous proposition for the 6. Seeing Crawley's squad back on their OP, going to be moving out here in the north. Crawley, no doubt wanting to support his tank a little bit more. Been focusing a lot over here. I do want to look a little bit more towards the church here, where we're seeing Taco kind of use a few squad leaders to kind of have the end of the line here and just kind of start the crossfire to the north. I think that that's a very, very valid goal by them. If they can get an MG gunner up here somewhere and make their lives difficult, pushing to the west, that's exactly what they're going to do. Pablo, Loop, and Savage Goose, though, for the 6th, tasked with making sure that does not happen. We have Malarkey kind of wrapping behind, going one further on Taco. So let's see if Malarkey's able to find any outposts here. I think Kurt is going to be seeing that his OP is hot. Playing it safe. Take a sip of my coffee because again it is 6:40 in the morning.
I think Malarkey might have just DC'd. I have no idea. I wasn't really paying attention. I was looking at the stats.
Yeah.
Pull that up real quick.
Yeah, let's take a look here. So now we are. Oh, yep.
Yeah, like, so Artie players obviously going to be the top of the leaderboard, but Pilots right behind them.
Oh.
The grenade this time, so he's just.
I think it's what your
Throwing
first kill was
grenades.
with, and then it just
Oh.
kind of holds it because it. Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah, so. Interesting to see these kills in action. I think it's pretty even as far as like the teams. I think obviously 6 I think has the top 4 actually as far as killers, and then it's kind of like mix and match of both teams, but Taco getting some good pressure already on the on their 4th point.
Yeah, I noticed that as we were pulling up the stats, but that is extremely interesting to me that 6 is winning on the frag battle so much. I mean, not so much, but like other than artillery, the top 5 killers are from the 6th, and I think that that's kind of keeping them in the game on the front line there. When we saw that flow of manpower, or I'm sorry, we were like, oh wow, Taco pushed up a lot, and then 6 all of a sudden was right back there. I think that's where that is showing. But like you said, look at this. Good cap pressure by the 6th. Let's take a look at the map. Only one garrison nearby for the 6th to reset off of. What we might see here is
Oh, Curry's going to be close to it. Close to the garrison. Oh, he's running
It's in
away.
the field right here, yeah. So,
But you're gonna see a big spawn wave off that garrison without a doubt. Yep, there it is.
and you know what? That's something that like you kind of have to do because you don't maybe know how bad it is. But at the same time, this is a moment that we might be talking about in 54 minutes as the moment that Taco is able to kind of re-solidify their hold of hospice. So, keep this one in mind there, folks, because this might be one that we talk about at the end of the game as far as like a game-defining moment for Taco. But right now, Taco is owning the strong point. We have 2 SLs and a commander in here, actually. So sustain ability for Taco is high, assuming their OPs are around. There's another big-ish spawn wave off that garrison.
Yeah, and that's Pepito and Farmer again.
Oh, look at Nui.
Nui with the flamethrowers pissed off right now, you can tell. But that's what we saw that in the Legion game too with those 2 SLs, Pepito and Farmer. They were, kind of harassing Legion's backline. They didn't really, harass Legion's 4th point that much. Like maybe at the most there was like a quarter cap onto it. Probably just when the, defensive SL for Legion did die. But, they would always have, kind of like that long distance backdoor garrison that they would, use to reset kind of Legion's front line a bit. And that's basically how Taco won that match. And,
Right.
You're kind of seeing something similar here where now, 6 is basically cut off from everything around hospice. So, it's going to be kind of a tough grind now for 6 to regain that. But, one thing that they can do is, regain that south first and then obviously work their way back up north. So
Yeah, and that does look like what we're going for here. Quite a lot of manpower on the south side of this road. 4-6 gonna try to cross over there and then push across.
And it's also very smart from 6 to not to, fully reset. They did keep, I would say, maybe 3, maybe 4 OPs on the front line. So they weren't in that do or die, like, hey, let's, reset. It's going to take us, 15 minutes to get back up north. But
Still, though, cap pressure kind of here and there on 4th. And I can already see the live chat comments. Taco pushing? But, I mean, at this point, if that's your impression, then you have not been watching the last couple Taco games, because we've seen quite a few pushes into 4th by them, even if it is just to...
It's not necessarily a push, though. It's more so of,
right.
Them poking and prodding, and then they'll take advantage once they see that weakness. And right now you're seeing that weakness from 6. Like, if you bring up the map again, they might not have a garrison down. If they do, they only have 1 in the sector. But, now they're bringing back their tanks. This is starting to look like a pub lobby a little bit.
I feel like we get there at least once or twice in a match where we're saying that. But look at this. 6 having to bring back a 76. Nui absolutely furious at this OP over here.
He's going to run into his own fire.
There goes my hero. Wolf.
So trying to get a satchel.
This would
probably will not happen.
But Nui is going to have to whip out the pistol if he's going to try to save him. But, oh, he goes down. It's a big kill. This is allowing Taco
Yeah, but this is where you know, for Taco, you can't get too aggressive either. It's like, yes, you can put some pressure, you know, force 6 to basically, you know, hold back on defense, but, you know, that's where you kind of open the door a little bit for the other team. Is, you know, you're going to have less eyes around the strong point at mid, and, you know, they potentially can get down, you know, some sort of cheeky garrison. And, you know, in a small way, that's the 76 does go down.
Really nice peek by that tiger there in the north. And
That's what happens when you lose at north. Yep.
And that's going to make this even more difficult. If any spot is going to be hard, you know, very, very difficult for 6 to get back, it's going to be the north here. See Jelly, not sure that garrison is gone, but at least a nice little piece of cover for Jelly.
You know, they could use that now as like an MG spot
yeah.
too.
Monkey 10 has been leading the way in this charge on...
I'm surprised he's still alive. Oh,
there you go. See, that's all it took was one of us saying something. So
fair.
sorry about that, Monkey. I don't think I had VIP, but if I did, it's revoked now, so I understand. Take a Wakes instead.
I don't even have VIP on. One thing you're not seeing from 6, and you know, Taco to some extent, I only see one on screen right now, is MGs. Like, you did see Rusty Spanner at the beginning of the game too, get on MG and get to the, you know, decent spot, but other than that, there's just no MGs. I'm like, I understand that, like, you know, there's a lot of buildings and cover that you can have, but you know, just the suppression, like that suppression in itself is huge. And I'm very surprised that, you know, really neither team are using a little bit more. Especially now, since 6 have lost the north, you might want to get like an MG looking up there.
Right. No one wants their suppression XP away, you know? I'm always looking for my suppression XP.
Is that for like support score now, or is
yeah,
that, like,
yeah,
combat?
It's a support score thing. I'm pretty sure.
Does it constantly update? So you can just start firing random areas, be like, oh, I'll check it, and like, oh, so you got 2 support score now.
Well, yeah, I think that's what people were saying, is that you can also like ping and get points for like accurate ping. So if you wanted to be
garrisons, to be honest, I think that's only garrisons when you hard ping garrisons. But if you ping in infantry, I think it's 1 XP.
Gotta start somewhere.
Every, like, I don't know. They just added weird stuff. And
6 doing a good job here, kind of pushing back out, but who knows how much of this is Taco kind of being like, all right, we forced them to do what we want them to do type thing, or what. But if we look down this road, we see a Belgian gate built here, a garrison
how did the
built.
Lux get back there? The Lux somehow got behind them.
Taco in a really nice spot here in the north.
Yeah, they're not leaving that north. I would not be surprised if Taco brings even 2 tigers up there. I don't think they will, but it would not surprise me.
We see their second tiger just kind of looking down the road, which not a bad idea. Or I guess they have 3 tigers, but
Just over halfway to go in this final, and it's been pretty much all Taco since the mid cap. 6 didn't have some chances, but you know, since that big reset, you know, it's kind of like in that lull kind of moment where, you know, not a lot's going on, just because like it is hospice, and once, you know, the Germans do take it, it's very, very rough for the Americans to retake it, or at least gain some sort of control, other than like, you know, where Random and the Rig Doctor are at.
yeah, I agree that these matches kind of get to this point sometimes, especially after, you know, the play that Taco made where they forced 6 to reset a little bit. Now Taco kind of moving back, realizing that their opportunity to cap has passed, and they at least are making the most of it now, consolidating on hospice, and 6 now trying to kind of get back up to where, at least as far as they can reasonably get with their OPs, and restart a push. But
Behind though, oopsie daisy with an OP
yep,
in the back lines.
Yeah, let's take a look over here. We do see this OP up right in the back lines. Gonna probably see the garrison up to the north. Is that the garrison in that?
It's probably up there.
Yeah.
Is it in the middle of the field?
I think it might be. Yeah.
Yeah, they probably did that for garrison spacing.
Yeah,
Obviously,
totally.
People always put it by that tree all the time, but you know, if you do want, you know, prime spacing just to get one on map edge, you know, it's safe to just kind of build that in the middle of the field, because usually that garrison's just going to go down too. So
Tiger is shifting around very wisely. He kind of is being covered. Oh, two tigers shifting in. Oh my goodness. Oopsie daisy.
I mean, you know, why not? Because, you know, you risk getting satchel to look at kind of what. You already have one tank looking at that. If that tank somehow goes down, just shift one of these tanks to, you know, fill in that spot.
Yeah, Itachi in a really good spot to deal with anyone coming through this wheat field. Seeing them from his perspective is extremely easy. Let's see if I can snap on here, actually. You can see just how easy it is for him to look into that.
Oh, and Cryptic trying to get the satchel onto that tiger. I don't think he does have it yet.
Oof.
He's not. I think that's the OP wipes. You know, as you can see, only a few Taco players did, you know, redeploy back. And that's kind of like all they needed to do is...
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they had a few tanks that like helped them too, but...
Here we see some artillery smoke coming in, probably from 6 to try to help them get back up here. I mean, this is an uphill battle for Blacklisted over here.
That would suck if people died to artillery smoke.
Chemical weapons is not what we need until it loses. BF1 gas mask. Backpack up here against Ryan. Just battle of this little courtyard here. Oh, that 70 or that Tiger took out something back here. Might have just been an AT gun, perhaps. Not even sure. Wilco trying to get him with a rocket.
And he gets gunned down by an SDG.
Yeah, I mean that's the advantage that the defenders always have. You know, Ryan and Jelly, they don't have to go around that corner, but Wilco and Backpack absolutely do. I mean, obviously it's a long game, so you know they don't have to do it right now, but you know they're gonna have to do something with that life and try to make a play. So Ryan and Jelly kind of playing it smart there. Six starting to do a little bit better here, just to the south of the point. Constantine might be able to take out an outpost here. He does. So that's a big play by Constantine. As he pushes in the north. Oh, but just to the south was a garrison.
And that's that benefit of, you know, prepping, even like prepping garrison networks is huge in competitive games. So, you know, just that 10 meters difference of where Popeye just spawned off that garrison is like a huge difference between what you can and cannot do with garrisons. So
Airhead coming down.
Interesting. I think that's a 6th airhead.
It is. Yeah, that's kind of what we typically see with these airheads now, is you just kind of put it behind the front of your front line. Luke gonna act as a defender here, but going down, so let's see if Taco able to get a grenade or something on here. First,
They are throwing the grenades.
yeah, first grenade misses.
Kaiser and Toby, or Kaiser. Don't know
Ooh,
really
Pablo. Oh,
But-
but Kimbo gets or Kimbo or Looney, I'm not sure, but they do get the airhead. That is a big grenade. I think we saw Haymitch's OP go down, but he's able to survive there. Big play by Hay. There's the bombing run coming in now, down the line. This could have been interesting if that airhead was able to stay up, but Taco, really good defensive play.
I don't know if it gets the garrison or not. I don't think it did, because all those players, I think, survived. It's more towards where Countdown is at. Maybe it did, who knows?
Oh no, it's still there. You're right.
So, a little bit misuse of the bombing run, in my opinion.
Ooh, big satchel there by Taco, too. Kind of holding that front door.
I don't want to jinx anything now, but are we going to see a half-track play with 10 minutes to go from 6th?
We'd only be so lucky to have 2 Hail Mary half-track plays in back-to-back
like,
weeks.
That's one thing, like, you just don't, like, expect it, like, a half-track spawn. Like, I think obviously it's map and point dependent. This point, especially, I don't think it's going to be, like, a net gain for 6 if they somehow get a half-track behind them, just because of how everything's, like, laid out. You know, especially having, like, a border point, it's harder to get those kind of plays off, but, you know, in theory, it is possible.
Ooh, Private Ryan. 2 big kills over here, saving the garrison potentially. I know the flare gun isn't supposed to let you see people inside buildings when it goes off, but does that actually work? I feel like it always,
No.
Yeah, I figured not.
Nothing works.
When the question is something in this game work or not? Oh, look at this. Oh, wait. How did this happen? How'd you get here, Mr. Stewart? But Tigers on the ball. Really nice 360 or 180 here by him and Aziz, Cookie, and Shadow. Well played.
So confused of how that happened.
Yeah, I don't...
Did he go all the way north?
He might have, yeah, go out of bounds, right? Oh, Jelly, nice rocket. And now 6 kind of in a decent spot. Matty Ice, though, pushing behind them, going to be an opportunity to wipe an OP. I think they might... Oh, no, there's the OP right here by the 6th. Wilco's playing it safe.
One thing, like, I also do want to, like, kind of note on is when you're obviously in, like, a top, like, if you're top right now, you're going to have... This is kind of the AP mine thing. But if you're Taco, obviously you're going to have AP mines on defense. But if you're 6th and, like, you're, like, the attacking team trying to get mid back, you're often not going to place OP or, like, AP mines. I argue that that's actually a smart thing to do because it protects your OP a little bit more, and, you know, it's still kind of that like mental game that you play. Like, you think it's safe because you're on defense, so you won't die to AP mines because you don't expect them there.
Right.
But when it does happen, you're like, ah, shit, now I have to check for it while defending. So it's just kind of like a little...
Plus,
little note.
It's the best feeling ever, too, when your OP is hot and you're like, oh, shoot, like, no one's near it, and then you see it go clear and you hear the mine go off. That is just an amazing feeling. But Max Courage, Kaiser, Guap pushing in here. Rig Doctor able to get 1. Going down to Guap with that STG. Make your memes in TPL now.
I was about to say, that's not a shock that he's
I believe the other day he said, I don't even like the STG. We're watching you, Guap. We're watching you.
He could be using FG42 automatic right now, but...
I was using that last night just for the memes. It's not very good, but it's fun.
Oh, when there's multiple people within 10
oh, yeah.
You're not losing that.
The best weapon for Gary farming. Taco now built up again nicely, kind of battling off that bit of pressure that 6th had to the south of the road. Just Rig Doctor Wilco holding out on Crawley's OP. Not sure if Crawley's OP has gone down or not, but if Rig goes down here... Oh, nope, Crawley's OP is still up. Kaiser with a nice crossfire opportunity, though. And that's a frustrating death from Crawley. Absolutely. See if Kaiser's going to be able to take it out. Oh, Kaiser. Crawley saves his OP but goes down immediately. Guap there to polish off almost all of the rest of them. Does take the OP, and with Crawley down, Guap's OP takedown will hold just pilots alive as the automatic rifleman. Really, really good job by Guap there to just push the OP. And great job by Crawley. I feel like Crawley's always able to get these kind of OPs up that are like right on the front door. That man is like a ghost. Has that ability. Zob winning the battle against Scarnhorse. Let's take a look at the map really quick, and we're seeing the front door looking pretty clear for Taco. Really able to kind of own everything up to the map edge, which they are doing in a very effective way.
Monkey tennis crossing the field right now at the top of your screen. You don't really see commanders on the front line so much, but he's making it work somehow. And this is where you, I guess, want your MGs.
Yeah.
If you're 6, like, this should not be happening. On either side, this should not happen. Where, you know, Jelly and Monkey are kind of getting away scot-free, but obviously Artie's coming down and stuff. So, Monkey gets down to his own Artie shells.
I'm not sure we see the Gary over here, though.
I do not think they have.
Oh. So I'm sure he's glad he walked across the field for that, but at least he's able to confirm that it's all clear.
Probably the most frustrating death that he's probably had in a comp in a bit is running across the field where you should have gotten punished from, making it there, looking at your map, and then immediately dying to artillery from your own team.
Six now pushed back to this following hedge line here, and those guys in the south, you see Magic, Rig, Bed, Bun, DJ Thought are going to have a very difficult time holding that pocket with being able to get wraps now from the north.
I'm surprised. Man, my energy drink is kicking in. I'm surprised not to see an MG there from Taco, just kind of, you know, spraying them down of where they all just spawn.
Yeah, and like where Kimbo is, even like is just looking south. There's a ton of roofs over here too that you can do it on.
Console players play MG. I don't understand that.
I mean,
Probably because the mounting still sucks.
Yeah, I'm in a glass house here. Like I can't stand like when feel like I'm in a good spot and the game is like, what if Bipod said no?
Well, it's not even that. I feel like people also just get bored. They're like they're not moving.
Right.
They have too much ADHD.
Right.
If you want to take a look at the kills real quick, just
yeah.
dig that a little bit.
Let's take a look here, see where we're at. Private Nico, I believe that is Taco's artilleryman, is 120 kills versus the 6 artilleryman Smudo with 102. We have Rig Doctor leading the way as infantry with 68, followed by Randleman with 60. And pilots Constantine to round out the 6 players leading the kills there. And then we have Kaiser, Kimbo, Poopa, and Looney for the Taco side in the 7 through 10 position. So still, the top fraggers look to be going the way of 6th, but with this amount of map control, I think the kills are kind of being spread around a little bit more between, you know, the whole team.
Yeah, so obviously 6 are winning, you know, like their top killers in the game are all 6 players. Like the top 4, other than obviously Artie, which we'll just, you know, throw that out the window because it's Artie.
Mm-hmm.
They're winning. You know, their fraggers are fragging, but so are Tacos to some extent. I feel like obviously it's a little bit more condensed once you get towards like the 50 kill mark and down. It's a lot more condensed. So, and usually, like I said on my previous streams, the way you kind of win, you know, a point back is from out fragging the other team. I'm just gonna turn those off.
Yeah,
I don't know if you want to do that.
Yeah, I'll do that on my own too.
But you know, that's how you kind of take a point back is, you slowly start to outfrag the enemy team as well as take out the spawn points. Six are doing that. They're winning their frags, like at least like I would say trading. It's just that Taco probably has that one extra guy to get that other refrag in that right position just to save their OP and then take out his OP.
Right.
So I think it's more, I don't want to say it's more so the map layout or anything like that, but it's more so of just like those, those small little micro battles that, Taco are somehow coming on top of just a tad bit. And maybe it's, OP placement from 6th and they're just getting their OPs wiped out.
And here's exactly what you're talking about. Here's Curry with that MG, I think, up on that ledge there, able to kind of take out anything coming this way. We do hear a tank shot. What do we got over here?
Yeah, like if you're 6, you're gonna have to start doing something. You have to do something about these tanks because I assume that like the Taco fuel economy right now is looking good. They probably have a tank in their HQ. They probably even have a tank in their middle HQ because they haven't really lost one that I've seen since that first one did get satcheled. Could be wrong about that, but I know 6 did lose at least 2 heavies. They're potentially about to lose a 3rd. And
we see 2 heavies up here on your screen right now. This one heavy being pressured, and with Artie coming down, it is a dangerous job by Chip Hazard and Purple Smurf to get that tank repaired. Oh, losing a crewman here, close to a garrison though, so not the end of the world. We'll swing over here, where it looks like 6 is starting to make a little bit of headway here. I think to your earlier point, Awake, the frags on the front door are really helping the 6th stay in this one. It's just a matter of getting those, 3 or 4 kills that let you get the outpost. That is going to be what is able to really let them hold the ground here. But Constantine, one of the top fraggers in the game, this game here, but in the game itself as well, pushing up into the courtyard here with Crawley. Top by though in a really...
It feels like 6 wins that front door. They get to where they are now, but then Taco, shifts maybe 3 guys from the south to help clear them out, and that's, this is probably like 6's 4th push now.
Yeah.
Of doing this basically since losing mid, and history is going to repeat itself. Taco's going to do the exact same thing where they send one squad from the south, send 3 of their squad mates to push back up north, help out frag for another minute or 2, reset them, and then go back to what they're originally assigned to do. So it's just Taco's just been playing this really, really well as a team so far. But so have 6, given what they have gone through so far. So, and obviously there's still 27 minutes left. A lot of games to be played.
We've seen less time have flips of the scoreboard here. So would not be surprised to see anything right now. But I do want to talk about those earlier kills that we just saw by Scoopa over there on the wall. He's able to take out 2 6 guys, save his squad's OP, and then have Za spawn in as the SL there. So that's kind of a microcosm of what we were talking about, where 6 able to take the ground, get up to that critical spot, but Taco playing smart and playing, patient, which is their privilege to do so as the defending team, to kind of prevent those frags from piling up in a way that takes their map control away and takes their spawns away. So I think that is kind of in a vacuum exactly what you were talking about and what we've seen so far this game.
Yeah, and if you're 6 right now, you have to say calm and collective, no pun intended for George Taco there, but you have to stay calm. You have to not yell at each other or get frustrated. Yes, you are probably frustrated right now, and rightfully so. You're not winning the game. It's not really been going your way so far this match, but 25 minutes is a lot. All you need is 2 minutes, and you're winning the game, and you could be winning the title. but you know, this is the point of the game. I would say like the next 10 minutes or so, you just gotta like win micro battles, micro games, and take an OP.
Oh.
Possibly maybe kill a tank.
If this Tiger is able, if this 76 is able to take out a tank right now, that'd be massive. Because I have no idea how that P strike didn't hit, but it's now the 76 that is in danger. Yeah, he's got to get out of here.
76 is gonna get clapped. Yep, he does.
Ooh, that is brutal. Now we have 276 on the board, 4, 6, 3 Tigers, I believe, on the board, 4. Taco, do they even have a 4 Tiger up yet, or?
It's probably in their HQ. They
Yeah.
haven't lost these tanks in a while.
Pilots, though, making his way up here.
You know, this border's a really good spot for them to be in for pilots. Hopefully they get an SL up here.
Oof. Wolf
If
Dog.
they do get an SL up here, they need all 6 members, even if it's a medic.
Are you trying to say that medics aren't valuable squad members, away?
No, they're not. It's kind of funny. To get a tank engagement.
See it on
Armor
either.
from behind.
He's able to set up an OP, could be quite dangerous. That's a rep station going down. Farmer on nukes. Commander Nukes able to win that one.
I can already see it now. We're gonna have like a last-ditch effort where all those 6 players are at airhead behind that plane or something. I can already see it happening in 20 minutes.
I'm here for it, Awake. I love big, huge spawn waves coming off in you know, just an act of desperation. It's you know, it's the finals. You can't hold anything out of your deck of cards, even a half-track play, which would also be incredible.
I
But
doubt 6 is gonna go for a half-track.
it's a hard.
Heavy.
It's so hard to.
Oh, Constantine trying to get a satchel down, but dies to Artie. No. Not sure if he got a satchel on where Zom and Za are. Don't believe he did. Maybe he did.
No.
Not. Just very unfortunate.
Let's turn to the Taco perspective here. You can see just how in control that they are here. War pushing around, looking for some spawns, but K's are able to find him. Let's check this out here. Earlier we saw, you know, kind of Taco trying to make the end of the line over here.
Stuart?
I think so, yeah. I think it's empty. But combat scores.
the
Combat
old-
score.
The old bait and switch of a Stuart. Just drive it up to the front and abandon it. ICR.
I never see it
But-
coming.
That's a classic ICR play, just abandoning the light tank in the middle of the midpoint.
We have Taco now pushing up a little bit more
I
on
had
the
to
front
throw that in
door.
there.
No, it's lore. You can't. The OGs will know. Speaking of OGs, I you know can't help but mention that I can't believe we're at this point where we have admin cam. You know, I've been doing this to where when we were getting POVs and restreaming things and kind of compiling it all together, and to be
Did the tank just blow up?
oh yeah, I think it did. Or was that a rep station?
That was probably a
Probably.
food truck mode.
I don't even know what that was.
What was that?
Oh,
Alright,
AT guy. You gotta make that easier to see what's going on, but let's take a look at the map here really quick. We have a 76 coming up for the 6th. We
So
have,
they are bringing 176 to the front door.
yeah, we
And
do.
one Tiger does go down. huge kill. Taco definitely has
Ooh,
one on
another-
standby, so
Another Tiger taking shots, but look at all these rep stations to
45,000 rep stations. And 2 engineers. Yeah, he's ready to go. Honestly, if you're 6, put a bombing run on all this. You kind of see the garrison just to the left of your screen there. You know, take that out. You take out, 4 rep stations as well in the process. And any infantry, you track the tank. And potentially...
Yeah, because this tank can't die right now. It's literally impossible for him to die. Other than getting... Or dual peaked.
I could see one coming out here any second though from 6 on either tank. They would prefer the one that's in this field, probably.
Oh no. Did that tank just go down?
Yeah, I think he got double peaked from both 76s or Tigers.
That is brutal. So now this kind of like exchange of heavies there, which in the economy battle right now is not in the 6th favor. We have infantry still kind of pestering Taco, but Taco kind of keeping them at arm's reach, just hand on the forehead type of holding them back.
I was just about to say there's people on defense for Taco on the 6th artillery battery point. And this is a very good time for 6 to start putting some cap pressure.
Right.
Just Samuel's OP, and I assume Farmer and someone else probably back there too. But this is good pressure from them. This is very, very timely.
Yeah, look at this. Couple OPs over here. This is as good of a time as you can ask for as well.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, Taco's probably going to do something, like, just to throw 6 off, because, they did gain a lot of ground.
Mm-hmm.
But
that ground probably came at the expense of what Taco was trying to set up here too.
Yeah,
so.
Especially with all these players swapping back. Like,
right.
Koopa's back here. We saw him on the front line. Aza, I think he's mostly back line. So, very timely. Quarter capped, roughly.
Just 2 outposts over here, a garrison nearby. I mean, not the end of the world here for the 6th at all, but in terms of what it means for their ability to commit to an attack right now when they really need to commit, it's going to be difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But Taco over half cap now here. Let's see what spawn wave we get, and this might be another example of something we look at here in 17 minutes and say, wow, that was a big play by Taco, forcing 6 to reset like that. But
I think they just need to get in hard cap and they'll be okay, or just win maybe 1 or 2 engagements. But Taco just... There's a half track.
Oh, we did get the half track play awake.
Taco's flipping the script, taking a book out of Legion, putting a half track. Gets 1 big spawn wave, but 6 smartly going to reset. Gets the half track very, very close to point. This could be a huge spawn wave here in the next minute if they do get it off.
People are gonna
still, obviously a very long time for that to happen.
People are gonna think you had inside information there, awake, with calling out the half track. But I mean, it's a luxury of Taco right now because of the fuel economy battle that they're absolutely dominating. So let's see if Pilot's able to lock this out before the spawn wave happens. You know that 6 knows about it. Only Monkey Tennis spawns.
He tries to get in the gutter.
That's a good one.
Will be locked out.
But yep, 6 getting the defense on, but at what cost is what you have to wonder. Taco pushing up a heavy. And they do look like they want to tighten the noose
could be
here.
out of ammo though, too. Like,
right.
Those heavy stinks have been up for at least 45 minutes, I want to say. Yeah, he's probably just diving with the guy repping, but yeah, that's a heavy dive. They're gonna have another one. So very, very timely from Taco there.
Yeah.
Give them credit for that.
Yeah, you can.
They obviously had the fuel economy battle in their favor, so why not throw a half track, throw them off?
Yeah, you
It's
don't
just
get
a little bit of a heartbreak for 6. So.
you don't have to, you don't get to keep that fuel for next season, you know what I mean? So you might as well use your half tracks, use your tanks, and as long as you have the fuel, keep things moving. Want to do a little kill check here, Awake?
Yeah, we can do that. So Nico and Smudo still at the top. Rig almost gonna drop 100 bomb. Probably will with 15 minutes to go, but who knows. Curry and Kimbo, you know, starting to get up into the top kills now for Taco. So Taco's starting to flip the script as far as, you know who's the top killers, and followed by Randleman, Kaiser, Pilots. So, you know, it's kind of mixed, I would say now, pretty evenly spread out between both teams. I would say Taco now is starting to get, especially in the last, I would say 15, 20 minutes, Taco's been winning more of the kill battles. And I think that's kind of just Six, I think, being exhausted from playing defense, you know, having to push into, you know, Artie as well as, you know, 3 heavy tanks all game. So
a lot more head down pushing by Six and more methodical play by Taco, and that's just by pure virtue of the game scenario. So interesting to see Carey get up there so quickly into the top killers. I saw him a little bit earlier with the MG, just holding down a really nice spot, taking down, you know, 3 and 4 guys at a time. So to your earlier point talking about MGs, just shows how powerful that is. Another rep station down. Add one to the tally at home. Any tanks on the board? We do have a medium for the 6th. Should get a heavy up here soon.
They do have a Greyhound in the very far south again, trying to somehow utilize that.
And they also have a
It
Gary
worked
over
last
here.
time around this time, so, you know, maybe another miracle of a light tank or of a recon tank can, you know, be Six's savior again. But, you know, 13 minutes is it's a lot of time still, even though it's not really that much time. But, you know, there's still a lot of game to be played, even though it's like, you know, they have to start some sort of progress in the next 10, I would say.
Yeah.
They kind of have to get where Mackey's at to make some sort of play happen. If they really don't, it's kind of, you know, game over.
And all that ground that Maxi is holding there is, again, due to Taco's really nice play of putting that pressure on artillery battery. I mean, just 10 minutes ago, Six was all over in here in the courtyard, kind of pushing forward, getting across the road in cases, but now Taco in control. We do see Six having an OP behind them. Looks like this Garrison too is just open.
If you want to bring up the map one more time, I just want to look at the resource count for Six with what they have to work with. So they can, you know, get an airhead and a bombing run, and I think a P-strike in the next few minutes. So that's probably what they're going to probably have to do to win this, is they have to probably do some sort of airhead bombing run. Very, you know, last-ditch typical effort that teams have to kind of, you know, try at least. But I think they also should consider maybe a P-strike, because taking out a heavy tank takes around a minute to do, in my opinion, in the competitive matches at the minimum, as ATs.
Yeah.
Because obviously if you're in a satchel, it's still 30 seconds, you can run up to it. Rockets, you only have 2, it takes 3 to kill it, so. I think Terry just took out the Northern Gary too as well.
There's the airhead. That's Taco's airhead though. Oh no, this spot, that's ammo, yep.
You got fooled.
I got fooled. People used to think that that's how it would legitimately be used. I don't think it's once been fallen for in an actual game, though.
You just look at it because it's basically.
Right. Lanimus in a nice spot here with this AT gun, just kind of solo manning it.
Just waiting for like Artie to come down on him or something. As soon as you said his name. Get the commentator curse going. 10 minutes left in the season for both of these teams.
Someone's going to come out here in the next 8 minutes being a TPL D1 champion. We're crowning 3 new champions today, and another one next weekend, I believe. And
next weekend or in 2 weeks?
I think it's 2 weekends actually,
Yeah,
but
2 weekends.
we have D2, D3, and D4 champions. D2 and I think D4 will be today, or D3.
Yeah, later tonight. 7:30, 8 o'clock Eastern. Probably getting somehow slips through everybody.
Yeah, like I was saying, Crawley has a knack for that.
Just going behind the.
Crawley's telling his squaddies, oh, look at this, his OP is right up here in the church. So a bit of a play by Crawley getting over here. Wani and blacklisted as well.
That's gonna make Taco panic though. It's gonna make them panic.
Crawley and
Just
Constantine.
unfortunately for like the 6 kits, as far as like, you know, your satchel guys, you got a shotgun and a grease gun, probably the 2 not great weapons to use as far as killing potential to try to satchel tank stuff to get to them. So.
And in a match like this where the killing potential is so high by both teams, you need everything you can get. Haymitch just kind of taking out a wave there. Popeye cleaning it up, and Popeye will clean up the OP with Dressed.
I was kind of hoping they were going to farm it. Get some good memes out of it. And there's an airhead.
There's an airhead. And that is an airhead bombing run combo by the 6th. So let's see.
Not really anybody in position though to defend it other than Recon and pilots, but
it's going to come down to this bombing run to save it. I think Itachi is just going to stay in the building. Or no, Hound Dog is just going to go for it. Oh.
I think it's Itachi too.
Yeah.
Blindfish the close player.
Let's see if Blindfish is able to save this one for Terry.
This is a huge kills. I think Terry's gonna have the
Who's gonna see
here.
who? Oh, who?
Grenade, I think from Itachi actually. Maybe. I have no idea.
No, I think that was
That's an
Blindfish.
airhead.
I think he was able to get the grenade on it. What a play. And that's gonna just make things I mean, at this point, it's a very uphill battle for the 6. Taco.
Yeah, this is probably going to be game. I'm probably gonna call it here just based on the map control. Taco's not gonna let this go. Taco's probably gonna win Division 1. Obviously, unless 6 have a half track that they can deploy in the next 3 minutes, I don't see too much happening.
It all comes down to the half track plays.
Yeah. Guys, this map control from Taco is very good. I wish for 6's sake P-Strike does miss the tank too, backed up just in time. I feel like for 6's sake that wasn't probably the best time. Like obviously, you're inside 10 minutes, you have to do something in those 10 minutes. And I feel like if they would have got kind of where Ryan's at, kind of on that wall of hospice, they could have done something, maybe a little bit better with that airhead, but they just didn't get back to because they did get a reset from that half track that Monkey Tennis, drove up to the front line. So, those 2 resets that Taco had, very, very killer for 6th.
Right.
So I think that's kind of like the story of how, Taco honestly probably, won this season is, their sappers and just, making resets happen. That's kind of how they're gonna probably win this Division 1 title, unless I do eat my words here in the next few minutes, which,
always possible, but I would agree that Taco's map control has been stellar this whole game. The plays that they've made have all been in serving to their benefit as far as map control is concerned. And if you want to say a couple moments that won this game for them, if they do pull out the win here in the next 4 minutes, it would be those 2 moments of them forcing those resets on 4th. So I think it was at like 55 minutes, and there was another one at like 20 minutes, and those are extremely timely. 55 minutes is kind of, considering how long the mid-cap lasted, essentially 15 minutes post mid-cap being decided is a big moment where you know, typically you'll see that team on the recap. That's where the recap starts to happen, versus Taco able to take it out there or get some pressure and help themselves out. And then at 20 minutes, that's usually where a team is gearing up to make their final push and like make a play happen, and basically tying their shoelaces together right as they're about to start running. Huge play by Monkey Tennis with that half track. Really nice to see a team using all of the things at their disposal. And their tankers kind of are owed that victory. Being able to stay alive, saving that fuel, makes that something like that possible. So a team effort there by Taco.
I'm very surprised, and almost not surprised, that Six tried to not bring a tank on to main road. Maybe to try to challenge those tanks a tad bit, or just make them like wary.
I think a lot of that is Taco having the tank over here and over here the whole game, making each one of these gaps just a spot where they can get double shot. So I think Jelly here, if he's able to get a couple OPs, looks like there's really only one over here right now, but just 4.5 minutes left. Really just 2 minutes left for Six to get something going. What a season this has been, though. Every one of the Division I teams having lost at least a game, which in TPL history is extremely uncommon. We've become accustomed to the 5-0 victories and, you know, the hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby, but genuinely this season has not had one of those matches in any division. And Division I, seeing the competition at the level that it's been, I think even Loot Up would be forced to say that comp's alive. So, shout out you, Loot Up.
Just basically a minute and 15 to go until this game is basically mathematically over. Not really much Six can do other than absolutely winning every single one of their gunfights, and Taco just not shooting, I guess.
You're seeing the final play here come half the team spawning in the south, half the team spawning in the east. And look at this. It's a tremendous amount of soft cap pressure.
Yeah. You kind of, honestly, if you're Six, you kind of just have
look at all these smokes.
Really in a situation, it's very hard to do something in 45 seconds. You can only get so far in that time frame anyways.
Right. And with that amount of hard cap pressure you see over there by Taco, it's going to take just about everyone being in the soft cap for Six to make any sort of pressure happen here. This is coming down to the wire, last 20 seconds here in the TPL Grand Finals Division 1. Taco looking to secure their first TPL championship. And they will be able to hold on. And ladies and gentlemen, Taco is your Premier League Division 1 champion. Congratulations to Taco on your first TPL championship here in the inaugural season of the Premier League. It's been an incredible season you guys have had. You know, there's been wins and there's been losses, but here in the playoffs, you guys have been absolutely stellar. And you'll hold on here for a championship, 6th. You guys went all season long, beating each one of the Division 1 teams once, at least once, I should say. And are just coming up a little short here in the finals, but an incredible season by you guys, an incredible match by you guys. But Taco gonna take this one home.
Yeah, and Taco finally gets that monkey off their back. No pun intended, the monkey tennis there, but they finally get their win over Six. You know, I want to say it's like 3 or 4 losses kind of in a row in 49 format, I think, going back to Summit Season 3. So Taco finally, they're probably, you know, at this point, the undisputed best team in the world, if I look at my power rankings right now, in my personal opinion. So congrats to them, and congrats to 6-2 of playing a nicely played game, and well played season from all teams so far in the Division 1.
Yeah, this was by far the most competitive season of competitive Hell Let Loose I've ever seen. Having been around since essentially season 0, I've never seen a season where week in and week out it's a 50-50 split on who's going to win. And in this case, Taco comes out on top of that 50-50 and plays a beautiful game here, well disciplined, and it's gonna earn themselves the right to call themselves TPL champions. Update your bios, Taco. You are champions.
Oh, not the bios.
Oh yes, that is the prize. But Awake, let's take a look at the stats here one more time as this game comes to a close. And
yeah, so Nico, maybe we'll update like one more time, but
right.
Nico 170, Smudo behind him with 139. So Nico putting in that work with Artie, probably had some key factors with Artie, maybe getting some spawn waves off that were key to burning OP. And Curry, top fragger in the game as far as infantry, just beating out Rig Doctor by 1 kill. So 2 players from each team getting 100 kills. Kimbo 92 himself, Randleman, Kaiser, Aza, Pilots, and Matty Ice to round out the top 10, or I guess top 8. But
very close though. I mean, like up and down the board, you see like Curry and Rig Doctor kind of out offsetting each other, but it doesn't look like one of these teams really outkilled the other. It just kind of came down to the last 30 minutes there for Taco in terms of getting back even on the kill race. It seemed like 6 was ahead for a good amount of that time. But, yeah, I mean, this was a really, really great match. These are the top teams on console, so I'm so glad that they got to face each other here in the finals. And like you said, Taco kind of getting the monkey off their back and getting a win against 6th for the TPL champions. But great to see, a great match here in the finals. And we do have another couple here today. So what do we have? We have the 9PZ against Pathfinders, which will be played tonight, and that's going to be Awake and Smithers casting that one. So I know you guys have been watching Smithers and another tab this whole time, so make sure to sub to Smithers and catch that one. Awake, you should already be subbed to Awake, of course, as well, and that's the Division 4 finals. That's 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And then at 9 p.m. Eastern, we have 3-5 versus Rofs in the Division 2 finals. And that's going to be here on my channel, so make sure you stick around later to watch both of those games. And then, like we said, in a couple weeks here on April 26th, we'll have 101A versus the 21st in the Division 3 Championship. So make sure you stay tuned to the Premier League and catch all that action. But Awake, final comments here as we wrap up the season in Season 1 of the Premier League?
Not too much. Just want to shout out to Taco for winning their first TPL title. They, I think rightfully deserve it. Even if they do get some criticism about some stuff, I've been one criticizing them sometimes, but still hats off to them for an incredible season. Can't wait to see what they can do in Summit, and then hats off to 6-2 on playing a nicely played game as well. And yeah, that's kind of all I got. Oh.
Yeah, so I think it's nap time for the both of us, having woken up here at 5 a.m. to cast this one, but it was totally worth it. A great game to bring all of you guys, and make sure you stick around for the games later today. Again, congratulations to Taco, and congratulations to 6 on a great season, and we will see you for some more TPL action here later today. Take care, everyone.
Bye.